Hello and welcome. Today I want to look at better and worse ways of looking at a situation. So, since we've been focusing so much on childhood stuff, childhood experiences, childhood trauma, and difficult stuff, let's have a look at better and worse perspectives on that. So, what I mean by that is we can get very locked into our trauma, our identity as a victim or experiencing whatever. And I'm not saying we're necessarily being really victimy about it, but we do get very kind of stuck in it. We can get really, caught in that identification of, well, this is what I experienced, this is what I went through. And we want to sort of, break up that identity a bit to help get the healing, the movement around that. And so a neat way to do that that I've found it's good to play with, with clients over the years and with myself is to look at the better and worse. So what that means is, often, okay, this is our history, this is what we've experienced, this is where we're at, this is our life, this is our situation. And if we're thinking of our people who are kind of better off than us, or if we're thinking of situations that are better, that's natural. And of course, there's going to be, plenty of better perhaps. But if we get stuck in that, of course, that's putting us in the victim role. That's too much in the, poor me. Oh, look what happened to me. This is just terrible. And so we're too caught up in that, I guess, negative take on it, or, that negative reference point. And no one wants to kind of be a victim, but it can keep us a bit stuck in that perspective of it. At the same time, we do need to acknowledge, and that can be a big part of the healing journey, is when we realize that, other people do have better situations. I remember as a child visiting a friend's family, perhaps, and experiencing better. Maybe it was a better marriage. Maybe there was a healthier relationship there in the parents. Maybe they just treated their kids in a different way. Maybe it was a happier, healthier household. And so those experiences are better, actually very helpful. It's not a bad thing at all. It gives us a reference point. And as a child, it can be really helpful for clarifying that sense or that awareness, making it more conscious that, these things that are happening are really not good. These are not love or not healthy, or, this is actually really messy or dysfunctional. So we do need to see what's better. That helps. But we also need to see what's worse. And a lot of people are good at this. And I hear this a lot in my practice. I get a lot of people coming in and they say, but other people had it worse than me. Who am I to sort of have a problem with this or to complain about this? Or why should I have issues here? Because other people just have it so much worse. There's, abuse and trauma and things so much worse than what I've had. And of course, these are people who are strong, and there's a maturity there to see it in that way. And that's helpful too. It is helpful to see that other people do have it worse, because it helps us to appreciate perhaps where we're at in that reference point. Maybe there are some positives, or maybe it's pretty bad, but oh my God, it could have even been worse, So that's helpful. But if we do too much of that, if we stay stuck in that, I had it better than other people, then we're minimizing our experience. We're kind of dismissing it by looking at what's worse. That's a defensive thing. It's a form of denial, really. And that takes us away from really honoring the experience there and really helping those parts of us that are perhaps still very stuck in those difficult experiences, stuck in those, trapped emotions. And so, we don't want to just minimize and dismiss. We do need to recognize, okay, this is what it was. But by looking at better and worse, it's a way of, kind of cracking the shell or mixing it up. If we're too stuck in, everyone else had it worse than me, who am I to complain? Or if we're stuck in, oh my God, poor me, it's so terrible, and, everyone had it better than me. If we're stuck in either of those positions, we do need to get some movement in that. So I'd like to do a process with you to just play with that. With whatever situation you might be thinking of. It might be childhood in general. It might be your whole, childhood experience. It might be a, really significant trauma history. Or you could use this process for something, minor or, excuse me, less significant, maybe a smaller specific incident. But I'd invite you to drop in and just take your awareness into a quiet, deep breathing. Close down your eyes if you wish. Letting your breath deepen, letting your awareness move inward as you let go of your outer life for a little while, letting go of those concerns and busyness, and just honoring yourself with a few minutes to be with your inner life. And I'd invite you, as you deepen in, each heartbeat going deeper still, to be aware of a part of you stuck perhaps. It might be your inner child, just thinking of your childhood in general. It might be an adult situation, but just thinking of some part of you, connecting with some part of you that's stuck perhaps in some really difficult experiences, stuck perhaps in something traumatic that happened. A part of you that's, still stuck and frozen in the wounding, in the emotion of what happened. Take as long as you need to get a sense of this part of you, welcome them forward. And you can trust that your inner wisdom will show you the ideal part of you for today. It always knows where we need to go in our healing. And as you connect with this part of you, younger, older, happy, sad, whatever way this part of you turns up, just imagine you as the present day you. Connect with them. Take their hand. Give them a hug. Sit down with them on a comfortable couch or lounge somewhere, just taking this time of quiet and stillness and peace to be with this part of you as the greater you. And as you connect with them, and just let them know that you're here to help them shift this stuckness, this frozen state, by playing with better and worse. And together, maybe you'd like to be looking at a big TV screen in front of you. And on this screen, you and this part of you just imagine a situation better than what you had. Better, healthier, happier, more loving, more joyful. Whatever that may be. Spending this time to imagine better than what you had, better than what you went through. And as you do that together, notice the feelings that surface. There might be a sadness, there might be a grief, there might be an anger or a resentment, even a bitterness, for not having that. It's all fine, it's all welcome. Just allow whatever to bubble up. And as you look at this together and experience this together, just acknowledging the reality, the truth of it is that, there were lots of people having better experiences, There's a lot of better that could have been in that experience. And acknowledging, respectfully honoring the truth of what this part of you went through. Might have been terrible. Might have been everything you could do just to survive that. And notice how this part responds. Notice what it's like for them to be really recognized in that contrast, really acknowledged in that contrast for what they went through, for what you went through. And when you're ready, let's switch to the other side of this. Now you go to a fresh scene on the TV screen here, and you look at a situation that was worse than what you had. It might have been such a difficult situation you did have that it can even be hard initially to think of what could have been worse. But go there, play with this. Just imagine a situation even worse than what you went through. Just see it, feel it, experience that. Just this imagined scene of something even worse. And as you do that, notice how it feels. Notice how this part of you responds. Again, this is not to dismiss or minimize what you went through, but this is just to acknowledge where it sits, the reality of it, and perhaps to know that, oh, there's even things we can be grateful for in that, whatever we survived. You might notice a feeling of gratitude. You might notice a feeling of lightness or relief, freedom somehow coming in. It's like, oh, yeah, it could have been worse. Oh, okay. Just positions your experience in a different way. Opens up the way you relate to it or think about it or identify with the experience. So take as long as you need to let that sink in. And when you're ready, the scene disappears. It's just you and this part of you on the couch sitting together, and just take a deep breath together and just look each other in the eye and just notice, how's that feel? What's the sense of this in the body? How does this sit in your mind now for mixing it up like that? Same as 10 minutes ago or different? Just noticing any shifts, noticing any movement in that space for you. And when you're ready, giving that part of you a big hug, feeling the merging back within yourself, merging back inside, merging back into the oneness that you are. And just breathing in, just noticing those shifts of the energy there, mixing it up today. Just notice any changes there as you deepen the breathing, gently bringing your awareness back into the space, bring it back into a full waking consciousness. When you're ready, opening the eyes, fully awake, fully alert. So how'd you go? Did you find that helpful? Yeah. Did you find one side easier than the other? Did you find it helped mix up the way you've kind of been storing the memory of that? Yeah, well done. Hope you found that really helpful. It's my joy to be helping you with these processes. And have a look at the podcast if you like. I know sometimes YouTubes get interrupted with ads, and so these videos are available as audios on all the main podcast channels. You can go to Podbean. There's some links there you'll find below and on the website, which will give you perhaps an uninterrupted experience of this as well. Anyway, check it out. Here for you. Any comments, any questions, please reach out, and we'll see you next time.